We're gonna do the part number 3. I definitely did not plan on this one here. Made a little mistake earlier. I stated there was a black guy and a lady in blue, and he was going past whatever door or whatever. They did had this issue. This issue goes to year 2002, this one here. And this is the black guy that is right next to the entrance, the door right there, that next to, as I mentioned also in part number 2, Donald Trump told me in 2019 that he doesn't see himself in me, does not agree with it, and doesn't know what he's going to do with my president Zelensky and Ukraine and so on. This was very formal with me. Suggested that we also have a black people served in the military. This is United States of America, and the black guy gave me a look. This is the way it was. It doesn't matter here what I have to say in respect to this stuff here, because I'm American citizen, and so the way he turned his attention to me, also from the soldier, the way they mistreated me, I was the one who did lambasted Donald Trump also for being a neo-Nazi, a regular neo-Nazi fascist thug, when in Poland and even earlier than that. So I had a lot of problems because of the individual you see right there, both of them, and I'm not going to give no comment on that stuff. These are animals. This picture goes to 2002, and in 2002 Zelensky was using with Ukrainians against me overwhelming, excessive amount of violence. This goes to 2002, 2003, 2004, even to 2005. Excessive amount of violence on me since 2000 to 2005, and I pledged that if I ever get one somehow to United States of America, where he went to the White House, just exactly to pose exactly the way you see it right there, they told me, oh, this is a chance to get even with the Zelensky. And you know who this guy was? A future Ukrainian president. This guy was involved in Mount Everest of violence. What Zelensky is trying to say to me is basically remind me of my promises I would strangle one if I would get my hands on him. When I see this picture now, I definitely would. I would not even hesitate for a second. I would tear him his head off his shoulders if I could get my hands on this shit. That's how much torture this guy was involved in. So this here served a certain purpose too. During MK Ultra, he posed to remind me exactly what you see right there. This did have a very strong purpose, this picture right there. He reminded me of who he is. But what he stated also, and I did mention in the part number 1, I mentioned that there was this document he would sign with Donald Trump. Once he would sign that document with Donald Trump, he no longer need me. This is how Zelensky was throughout this process. Now, do I believe that this guy is a pro-Ukrainian? I don't have any reason to believe that he is pro-Ukrainian. This guy hated United States of America more than Vladimir Putin did. Vladimir Putin did not hate the United States of America as much as this shit did. I remember him going to the United States of America, where I inquired in the White House. This is obviously was in the White House. I had no way to know where that hell was, but it was obviously in White House. I inquired about arresting him, grabbing him, beating the fuck out of him, right there on the spot. And I couldn't understand Americans, why they don't grab him, why they don't beat the shit out of him, because they witnessed violence. his violence here in Slovenia, in Ukraine, and so on. Americans witnessed, American diplomats, American politicians who are involved in it, they watched Ukrainians engaged in violence against me. At the time, the violence was so overwhelming that oftentimes I would not even understand, no, where the fuck I was. Who was doing the violence on me? Was it the Russian or was it the Ukrainian side? And that's what Donald Trump did a very, very good job right there by reminding me of who this guy is, what went on, and obviously why I should side with Russians. No, I don't have the reason to side with the Russians. Russians are animals, absolutely animals. But I also don't have the reason to side with Ukraine. So there is something Zelensky and Donald Trump did accomplish. Something that Ukrainian people probably shouldn't probably give him the right to. But yeah, he's obviously such a, in part number one, I argued that he should act like Ukrainian president. He, after all, is Ukrainian president. Then this Vladimir Zelensky, is more than a fucking president. This is a apparatchik, completely indifferent from the Stalinists and or his Western White House masters, owners. Whoever he is, it doesn't matter. Buckingham Palace owners, it doesn't matter. This is a trash of the human being. I have no right to be worried about him. I have to be worried about myself. So this will do for the part number 3. And they, by the way, they did try to make an impression on me, because the way this looks like, they are grabbing him, the picture, the way they did the photo. Next to this here, Slovenian police did everything they possibly could. With what I experienced was at the police station where they had this Miran Sudin, this criminal who came from Ljubljana, a personal deputy of Milan Kučan, Robert Golob, whom I have asked to please allow me access to a restroom area from the main lobby, from the entrance area. And he did so based on MKUltra scenario by literally blocking me from entering police premises. That's how he positioned himself at the entrance, so I could have as many as possible problems entering one with a backpack on my shoulders, and use that opportunity to remind me, contrary to American side, which once I paid attention, this is probably the stuff I should pay attention to at first, but the thing is, I was more concerned for Ukraine than myself, you see, and obviously I did not. And they turned this, Slovenian police with Zelensky turned this into a completely different issue than the issue I see right now here on this website from BBC. Based on police scenario, based on the police brainwash, Zelensky would be mistreated by Americans. Again, they build like injustice case against Americans for the sake of Zelensky, in my eyes, just like I would be at Novo Mesto police station. What Miran Sudin did on October the 30th, 2024 was involved in MKUltra. He did block the entrance. He did mistreat it. He did treat him with a disrespect after he was even advised. I advised one, I cannot enter the area with my backpack on my shoulders if you are basically blocking the entrance in such a way. You're standing over there. He was standing in such a way that based on MKUltra scenario, Miran Sudin suggested He would do this to make me understand that he could grab me at any time and so on. So very, very, very bad for Zelensky. Right now, when I know who this guy is, I would not hesitate a second if he was in front of me to do exactly what I stated in this video. This guy is an animal. This guy is an animal, and Ukrainian president who would be or is concerned for Ukrainian people, he would be Ukrainian president, definitely would not act the way he did. No, but if he was in it to have the war with Russia, which Zelensky absolutely was, if he counted on a war against Russia, if he wanted to have the war against Russia, either for the sake of the Russia, so the Russia could steal parts of Ukraine, or to have a war with the Russia to give West the ability to destroy Russia, whatever. I still don't know nothing about what goes on, and then that's a different story. If he is a pigeon, if he is a pigeon from the White House, from the Buckingham Palace, that's one thing. And or he is a pigeon from the Russia, from the Moscow, that's another one. Like I said, I'm not going to be discussing any of these issues. Ukrainian people should know better. This was a matter of Ukraine with so many people that were involved in it. They were acquainted with this, and if they were not acquainted with this, this is because simply they didn't do the job. No, that's not my problem. So this be a part number 3. Yes, I know about the black people. Yes, I know about the black people. I also know about who Fred Trump was. Fred Drumpf, the Ku Klux Klan boss, the KKK father of Donald Trump. I know about the black people. See, I didn't have any kind of neo-Nazis in my family. Quite contrary, they were partisans, or they were involved in a national resistance during the World War II against the German and against Italian troops which came here to occupy and also to exterminate, to put it this way. Donald Trump is from Germany originally. So I know who the black people are. I just don't know if Donald Trump knows what America was founded based on. Yeah. These are accidents right there posing in front of you. 2 of them.